Antes no tenía problemas de estacionar en paralelo, pero aquel día tuve un problema malo. ¿No? Dos verbos. Un verbo en el imperfecto, otro verbo en el pretérito. ¿Cuál es el verbo en el imperfecto? ¿Tenía o tuve? En el imperfecto. ¿Tenía o tuve? Tenía, ¿no? Entonces tuve es el pretérito, ¿no? El infinitivo es tener. Entonces, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué tenemos tenía imperfecto y después tuve el pretérito, Aaron? Problemas, sí, pero tuve un problema. Oh, muy bien. Es buena idea, o buena atención a algo muy específico. Problemas versus problemas, singular versus plural. Problemas means multiple problems, therefore indicating repeated actions. Muy bien. En todas mis clases, 4 clases, tú eres la primera persona que sí reconoció eso. Problemas indica acción repetida. Also, antes, ¿no? ¿Cómo se dice antes? Not after, but before, like prior to this day, which indicates more than once. Otra vez. So why did we switch it to tuve in the very same sentence? With the same verb. Still talking about a problema. Aaron pointed out problema, singular, which indicates what? Sam? On that day, exactly. Aquel día, and one problem indicates specific action, one time. Muy inteligentes. Excelente. ¿Entienden? So this is a good example to show you how the same verb, same context, más o menos problemas, can use both tenses depending on what type of idea you're trying to convey to your reader or listener. Okay. Miren, chicos, yo estacionaba en paralelo cuando choqué con otro or un carro estacionado. What right now is sticking out to you, hopefully? Please, God, tell me it is. What is sticking out to you, Sam? Cuando sandwich, right? Yes. Cuando sandwich, which tells us what? What does a cuando sandwich tell us? Based on your notes, based on examples we've been talking about, we spent an entire class Wednesday on cuando sandwiches. Imperfect is first, and then what? The preterite. So we know this is the imperfect. And here's the preterite, but why? Why? Because the imperfect indicates what? What was going on? What was going on when something happened? So what was going on here? What was I doing? I was what? Parallel parking. No? Parallel parking when what happened? Chocar con un carro estacionado? Right, exactly. Chocar. Now I crashed into a parked car. Malo. Inmediatamente el examinador se bajó del carro y examinó el otro carro. So what's it saying? Inmediatamente, here's an adverb. Immediately, boom, immediately, something happened. No? Something happened. So we have se bajó del carro, examinó el otro carro, pretérito. Muy bien. Because of inmediatamente, and what happened? The examiner, what is se bajó del carro? Because this is a vocab word, and I want to make sure that we're paying attention to these new vocab terms in the story. ¿Cómo se dice se bajó del carro? He got out of the car, and then what? Examine the car. Specific actions completed. And I use inmediatamente again. Bad writing. But anyway, me puse muy nerviosa. So what happened? Yeah, I got nervous. Now, me puse. Pretérito or imperfecto? Pretérito, no? Del verbo poner, reflexivo, ponerse. So what's this saying? Because on Friday we talked about emotions are typically in the imperfect. I was feeling ready or nervous. Typically. But miren, chicos, el verbo estaba. El verbo estar. No es estaba, es ponerse, me puse. It doesn't mean I was feeling. This is a result. See?
So is that because that was due to
Yep.
a specific action?
Yep, exactly. I got. That is a direct result of a specific event that occurred. So when I got my test back, I immediately felt defeated, or I got so excited, or, in this case, immediately I became. So it's very different than using the verb estar to tell how you were feeling. Ponerse in the preterite, me puse, is I got. I got so excited, or I got so scared in that haunted house. No? Me puse. Okay. Él me dijo, está bien, era la cuneta. No? So what's this saying? Él me dijo? This is something we saw in chapter 9. What does él me dijo mean? He said to whom? Me. He said to me, está bien, era la cuneta. So he said to me, it's okay, it was the curb. Muy bien. So dijo is the regular preterite form of decir. Now, whenever he or she said something to me on your chapter 9 test, mis padres me dijeron, like, adios, or feliz cumpleaños, or buena suerte en tu examen, something like that. He or she said, quotes. So when would you use decir in the imperfect? If decir in the preterite, dijo, means he or she said, or I told you, blah, 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 or she told us not to worry about blah, blah, blah. When would you use it in the imperfect, Sophia?
I feel like in lower school we said the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right, every day, exactly. We used to say, nosotros decíamos the Pledge of Allegiance, repeated actions, or my grandmother used to always say, siempre me decía, bebe tu leche, or something like that. Or also to convey the idea of was saying. Like, what were you saying? ¿Qué decías? What were you saying before somebody interrupted? Or I was only saying, blah, blah, blah. Yo decía. And we can use the imperfect of decir to convey those ideas. But typically, when it's something very specific, one time, dijo, dije, dijimos, or dijeron. Entonces, él se subió al carro, and al carro escribió algo. So he's like, it's all good, it was just the curb. Se subió al carro. So he what? Then he got back in the car, escribió algo, me dio el examen, y yo saqué 70%. En el examen recibí mi licencia de conducir. Pretérito, pretérito, pretérito. All these verbs are in the preterite because why? Sequence of events. This happened, and that happened, and this happened, blah, blah, blah. One time completed actions, preterite, preterite, preterite. I really did get a 70 on my driver's test, but it wasn't because I hit a parked car or hit the curb. It's because when I was parallel parking, I didn't put my hand on the back of the passenger seat, which was ridiculous. But did I care? No. Recibí mi licencia. I was like, I don't care if I get a 70, just give me my license. Okay. Entonces, en total, fue una experiencia de suspensa pero buena para repetir what I said for the ampliación. Fue una experiencia de suspensa pero buena. This is saying what? What's it saying here? It was. No? It was a suspenseful experience, but good. So, why do we use the preterite tense here? Because typically, ser plus an adjective is the imperfect. Like, Steve Jobs era muy inteligente, or Martin Luther King era muy buena persona. We usually use ser in the past tense era when we're describing. So why am I using the preterite here? I'm not necessarily describing what. This is the last sentence in the paragraph in the story, so I'm not necessarily describing what. What do you do in the last sentence? You conclude. You conclude, and when we conclude, we summarize. Whenever you summarize anything in Spanish, like, oh, that party was so fun, la fiesta fue muy divertida, or that test was so hard, ese examen fue muy difícil. When we summarize anything, a date at Barça, or a meeting, or an event, or anything that occurred, and it's our final summary statement about it, we use the preterite, and that's why you're going to use that in your paragraph. And note to self on your chapter 11 test. If you see ser at the end, at the very end, and you can identify this as a summary statement, it's not describing, then I am going to use fue, or maybe fueron if it's plural. Summary statement. Fue buena. It was good. No? Fue. Or fueron. And I'd use fueron if I said like mis vacaciones, something plural, like my vacation was so much fun. Mis vacaciones fueron muy divertidas. No? Otherwise it'd be like, la fiesta fue muy divertida. Okay? ¿Entienden, chicos?